Hello everyone, we are Spice Girls and today we are going to present our Clil project. We will start with a justification. We will continue with the topic chosen for this project, their respective competencies, all the activities we will do during this project, and we will finish by giving our final reflection. To develop this project, we have worked with the Clil method. This is a dual educational approach in which an additional language is used for learning and teaching both content and language. During this project, the subjects of English and Natural Sciences will be worked on in a total of 10 sessions. This unit is aimed at students in their 6th year of primary education on the topic of water importance. It has been designed as a Clil unit as we expect our students to work on the English language, as well as on curriculum content on the importance of water, that could address topics such as geography, science, sustainability, and culture. One of the objectives of this project is for students to improve their English language skills, so we have worked on vocabulary in different ways in each activity, for example, posters, riddles, virtual reality. In addition to foreign language skills, other abilities have also been worked on. These activities are designed to improve their communication skills, critical thinking, cognition, culture, and content related to the topic. In addition, during the project, natural sciences and English contents have been linked.
Our Clil project arose out of a societal problem that is of concern to the entire world. Water is essential for the survival of our lives, humans, plants, animals, but also for agriculture, ecosystems, or industries. Without water, our existence would be impossible, as it takes a vital role in many aspects of the world, from supporting ecosystems and agriculture to ensuring our own health and survival. Water, a resource that is being depleted by population growth and climate change. We are not aware of all the water we consume and waste every day. We are harming our planet and our existence by leaving the tap running while brushing our teeth or taking long showers. In addition, the contamination of drinking water is increasing notably due to the industrial activities, ships that throw oil into the sea or plastic that we throw away. Students will gradually understand the importance of water for our existence and for the survival of the planet. They will also become aware of the harmful acts that can cause potable water to decrease over time. Students will carry out different activities to understand the importance of water for living beings, its different uses, and ways to reduce water consumption. In addition, we will work on different contents of different subjects through the use of English.
During the project, several competencies will be worked on. On the one hand, regarding the transversal competencies, verbal, non-verbal, and digital communication competence, competence for living together, competence for initiative and entrepreneurship will be developed. On the other hand, taking into account the subject competencies, scientific competence and linguistic and literacy communication competence will be worked on. Taking into account the scientific competence, these two will be worked on. Make decisions in a responsible, autonomous and critical way about the natural world and the changes that human activity generates in it, using scientific knowledge, and identify problems of a scientific nature and carry out small documentation and experimental investigations in the treatment of problematic situations, for the resolution of these problematic situations and the obtaining of evidence. In the linguistic and literacy communication competence, we have understand and critically evaluate oral, written and audiovisual tests, both analog and digital, from different fields to achieve personal, social or academic goals, produce oral, written and audiovisual tests from personal, social or academic fields to respond effectively to different communication needs, and recognize and value the linguistic and cultural diversity present in our society in order to develop a positive attitude toward this diversity.
After the competencies are understood, we will start with a remember lesson by explaining the first activity, called Guessing Riddles. To begin this project, the students will be the ones to find out the topic we are going to deal with and work with during the following sessions. The protagonist is water, and therefore we will carry out an activity with guessing riddles, through which they will guess the topic we will work on. To carry out this activity, the students will have a grid card on which they will have to write the answer to each of the riddles. The teacher will read each of them aloud and they will have 30 seconds to write the answer on the grid. Once the entire grid is complete, the first one to finish will raise their hands and so forth. Once the students have finished, we will share the answers and together we will look for the relationship between the answers of the riddles. All the answers have one thing in common, that is water. This is the material that we will use. After the students know the main idea of the project, we will do a brainstorming about what they already know about water. That is, students will be asked what water is and where we can find it in our daily lives, whether at school, at home, or in the streets. Later, students will have to make a list of drawings of situations in which they think that we waste water, or ways in which we pollute water in our daily lives.
We will follow with the lesson number 2, understand. The second activity is called discovering the different states of water. This activity will be to learn and differentiate the different states of water. To do this, they will go to the lab and do an experiment where the students will be able to see the different states of water. The experiment has the following steps. First of all, they will fill a pot with the water and put it on the stoves to heat it. When the water is hot, they will put some of it in a clear glass, and the students will see that the water is in a liquid state. Then, students will place some ice cubes in another clear glass and see that the water is in a solid state. Next, they will place the glass with the hot water in a safe place, put a lid on it and observe it. They will see that the water begins to evaporate and form steam. That is, water drops will form on the lid, indicating that the water is in a gaseous state. To complete the experiment, they will take an ice cube with the tongs and immerse it in the hot water. In this way, they will see how the ice melts and turns into liquid water, which indicates a change of state from solid to liquid. Finally, to see if students have understood the different phases of water, they will draw a picture representing the different states of water they saw during the experiment. Once the representations are finished, the students will make a small presentation in groups to show the results obtained in the experiment and how they have represented this data in their drawings.
In the third activity, they will work on the molecular structure of water. In this activity, students will learn about the molecular structure of water through a virtual reality application in which they will be able to appreciate its structure in 3 dimensions. To begin with, we will introduce H2O as another name for water, and students will be asked if they know it and why it's called that way. Therefore, atoms will be defined as the smallest part of a substance that can no longer be broken down, and molecules will be defined as the union of those atoms. Next, each of the students will have an index card on which will appear a water molecule broken down into 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom that are bonded together. Students should paint each type of atom a different color to better identify them. In this way, each student will have their own personalized water molecule. However, it's important that they know that the 2 hydrogen atoms are the same, so they should be the same color, and they are joined to an oxygen atom that has different characteristics than hydrogen, so it will also have its own color. Once the students have finished painting the water molecules using their tablets, with a virtual reality application, they will scan the QR codes and they will be able to see their personalized water molecules in 3D, and they will be able to interact with them and know different characteristics by themselves.
The name of the fourth activity is Trip to the Water Museum. In this activity, the students will take a field trip to the Water Museum located in Sopron. In this museum, there will be audiovisual material, historical and recent photographs of flood episodes, videos, explanatory panels and infographics in Spanish, Basque and English. In this way, the students will not have any problem understanding the explanations since they will have the 3 languages and images. During this trip, we will work on topics such as the close relationship between water and life, knowing its origin, composition, characteristic, and etc., also the therapeutic functions attributed to water throughout history and its importance in different religions and development models tolerant of the planet and practices aimed at saving and reducing water consumption.
We are going to continue with lesson number 3, apply. In this 5th activity, the students will create groups with different members of the school community and will have to find a solution to a problem in their own school. The students will be divided into groups of 4 or 5 people that the teacher will create so that they are as heterogeneous as possible and will choose a name for the group. Each of them will have to prepare their character in order to have different points of view. Their goal will be making a proposal for the school in order to reduce the waste of water in the school. They will also have to find arguments to defend their proposal against the proposals of the other groups. Once each group has finished, there will be a debating class among all the groups. Each group will defend theirs, and at the end of the class there will be a vote among the whole class to decide which of the proposals is the most successful. Once it has been decided which of them is the most successful, if possible, it will be carried out at the school, with the help of the class and school community.
Then we have the lesson number 4, Analyze. The sixth activity is called Does it have water or not? During this activity, the students' previous knowledge will be worked on. They will work on the search for information, and the knowledge they have acquired during the different activities will be tested. To start with the activity, the teacher will look for images of different objects, such as a cupboard, a pencil, a car, and different living beings such as a turtle, a cow, a human being, a fish, and will place them on the walls of the classroom. Each student will be given a red sticker, and it will be explained to them that they should place it on the pictures where they think there is water. Once they finish placing the stickers, they will be grouped in groups of 4 or 5 people and will be asked to find out information about the presence of water in the photographs that have been placed in the class. Once they have finished, they will be given new blue stickers, and they will have to repeat the process and stick them on the pictures where they think there is water. Then, the teacher will ask some questions related to the presence of water in living beings, such as, do you think that the fish have water? What about plants? And mammals? Why do you think water is so important for living things? In this way, the students will understand the importance of water for all living beings and for the planet, thus understanding why it is so important to reduce water consumption.
The seventh activity will be guessing the amount of water. To start with, first of all, students will see this image with the vocabulary they will need projected on the board, as they could not know the necessary vocabulary we will work on. On the poster, we can see different amounts of water, as it will be of a great help during the activity. Once the students know that all living things are composed of water, the next activity will consist of finding out the amount of water in different living things such as humans, fish, or plants. To do this, we will make groups of 4 or 5 students, and we will give them 6 bottles with names of different living beings, for example, elephant, human being, jellyfish, pine tree, worm, or shark. In addition, each group will have the same amount of water beds simulating water. Each group will discuss how much water each living thing has in order to know how much water to put in each bucket. First, they will fill the first bottle, for example, the amount of water of an elephant. Then, one student from each group will go out with the bottle to the blackboard, and the results will be compared. And with the help of the teacher, the real amount of water of the living being will be discussed and investigated. The same will be done with the other living beings, and the amount of water each one has will be compared. Finally, a question will be posed for the students to relate the existence of the planet and water. Do you think we could exist without water, and why?
In the activity number 8, we will work on water in the ancient times. In this activity, we will work on the different uses and traditions of water in different cultures to see the relationship between them. To begin with, students will be divided into groups of 4 or 5 people, and each group will choose a different culture, Egyptian, Moroccan, Greek, Spanish, selected with the help of the teacher before starting. Students will research how water was used for agriculture, food, architecture, and other areas of life in each culture. It will be the teacher who will tell them which pages to look for information such as museum pages, documentaries, since not all pages are reliable and we want our students' information to be adequate. In addition, this information must be in English. Once the research is finished, each group will make a poster with the acquired information and present it in front of the class. In this way, they will be able to compare different ways in which they use water and the importance they gave to this essential resource to our existence.
We will continue with lesson number 5, Evaluate, with the 9th activity called True or False. To begin the evaluation of the students, we will carry out an activity in which each individual student will have to reason on a card that will be given to them about situations in which water is essential and thus understand the importance of water. Each student will have a card in which several sentences will appear and they will have to answer if they are true or false and justify why. In addition, to facilitate the understanding of the sentences, there will be an image or graphic accompanying the text. In this way, it will be verified that the students have understood the importance of water, and that as a consequence, life would not exist without it.
Continuing with Lesson 6, Create, we will make an activity that is called Creating Wikipedia. For the last activity, we have decided to carry out a project in which the students will apply and reflect all the contents learned during the previous sessions. To begin with, they will be divided into 3 large groups, and each of them we will work on one of the lessons: remember, understand, and apply. From all the contents and activities that have been worked on each topic, the students have learned different concepts, and that is what they will have to capture in the web page that will be made. Each group will be in charge of one of the topics, and so the students will be able to focus more on the specific concepts. In addition, the students will be able to insert images or videos to complement the information or to help their understanding. Once the work of each group is finished, each one of them will have to introduce it in the web page where everything learned will appear, but explained with their arguments in a much more visual way. The web page can be edited by any of the students so that correction or improvements can be made if necessary. Students will also be able to add information about the topics of other groups. Once all the topics are united and after the changes and improvements, with the help of the whole class, an explanatory introduction of the final project will be made. This web page will be corrected by the teacher and will be made available to all the students of the course so that other students can also learn about the importance of water.
As a reflection, we could say that the Clil project is a good way for pupils to learn foreign languages through the teaching of common subjects. In addition, this methodology offers pupils several benefits. First of all, the Clil integrates content and language learning simultaneously. In addition, it focuses on the development of students' communicative competence and allows them to develop their fluency and communication skills. On the other hand, it motivates the student to express him or herself in an alternative language with people from different countries. It also stimulates students' cognitive abilities, as using a language simultaneously has benefits for learners. On the other hand, looking a little into the future, it trains the individual for the world of work, since the use of a foreign language opens doors for professionals in all fields.